Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Sophie. So I haven't done a video in a while. I have been working on a project that's taking up a little more time than I had anticipated, but I'm so glad to be back, and here I am today. Today I want to speak on the subject of self-care. Self-care actually includes peace of mind, your ability to think straight without any outside influences. And what I mean by that is that you are so solid in who you are as a person, who you are and what you believe in, that nobody can come and knock you off your square, as they say. Like you're firm in your foundation of how you care for yourself, how you love on yourself, all of that. And it doesn't sway too far to the left or too far to the right, because you know who you are as a person. Well, recently, and I'm not saying that things can't come and kind of, knock you off your feet sometimes, but you've got to have that ability to get back up and be stronger than before. Like you've got to have that ability to reverse that negative situation back to a positive situation. You've got to have the ability to keep working on yourself. Like every time a situation happens, you have to stop and look, not at what the other person did or what the situation has caused you to do, but how that maybe you weren't prepared for that situation. Maybe you weren't ready for that person to bring that kind of negativity into your life. But that's where you have to be wrong, because you always have to be on guard. You always have to be ready to dissolve, or what they call it, de-escalate situations before they go up and blow up and smoke in your face. For example, this is a good a good time to go into this story, because recently an ex came back into my life, and initially we started talking about, he was bringing up all the past situations, blah, 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 how this happened, how that happened, and how we had a history, whether we've known each other for 40 years. We have a son that's 39 years old, and he wanted to, talk about, this, that, and the other, and he talked about the past, and we had a lot of things that we remembered about the situations, and some stuff we didn't remember about. And anyway, he brought all this stuff up, and it kind of made me nostalgic and had me thinking that maybe there was something more there than I had thought about, anticipated. But in all actuality, I haven't seen this person in decades. I mean, a decade. Like, it's been over, I started calculating, I think it had been over 15 years that I last saw this person. Therefore, I'm not able to really say that we've had a full 30, 40-year history, because it was off and on. So in that regard, it was a lie, because we didn't really have a history. And really, they say that history sometimes repeats itself, and it did. A few months of talking to him, I saw how toxic he really was, why I left the situation so many times before, and why I finally left and never looked back. And this time I'm like, oh no, I can't do that, because that person started interrupting my peace. They were saying little snide remarks like, oh, almost if you think you're something because you have, not in those exact words, but similar to, you think you're something because you have an iPhone 13. Anybody can get an iPhone. You can get one on credit if you have decent credit, or you can buy it outright. Like, that's not a big deal. Or you have this car, you have a newer model. Like, you start to see the little slight that people make against you because you've made decisions to live a certain way in your life. And when that person started, when I couldn't really share my joys and my happiness with that person, I knew then that that history didn't mean anything, that it was just history. History is what's in the past. And it was just a way to get in and kind of make it like, it was more than it was, and it wasn't. And I started to feel bad because I had blocked this person out of my life, blocked the person from Facebook, blocked their people from Facebook because they unfriended me, whatever. But, when people approach me on Facebook, it's usually about mess. And at this point in my life, I decided I no longer want mess in my life. And I just blocked the person and moved on. Did it hurt? Of course, because you always that's the thing about women. In our minds, we always think a situation is much better than what it was. But when I brought up the abuse factor to this person, they kind of denounced it. At first, they didn't acknowledge it. They said they didn't remember it. It's strange that you don't remember hitting a person several times over the course of a relationship. But anyway, we've forgiven each other, but now it's time to move on. Like, there's nothing else there. There's nothing else that helped me say I want to be attached to this person ever again in my life. And I hate to say it like that because it could have been a great friendship. But when this person presented to me with some more mess because they're living messy, I have a choice. And then I made a decision to move on for good. And I think I had and I accept my role in the position. I accept my role in the spots, thinking that, I had a chance to get back good with this person. He could get back good with me. No, that's history. It's gone. It's over. Like, I had moved on. I'm in another state. This person is still back in my hometown. And it's like, you're messy. You've always been messy. And if we really wanted each other, at some point, we would have made a decision to be with each other. So at this point in my life, I'm over it. Of course, you have your little episodes where you feel kind of like you made the wrong choice by letting that person in. Of course, you may talk to an ex, but give them a probationary period. That's what I had to learn too. Give these folks a probationary period, or don't even contact them at all, because most of the time, the mess you left behind is what the mess you go back into. And I just really came down hard on myself. Like, I was really, really upset about doing this to myself again. But I learned, the lesson learned now is leave the past in the past. Leave those people behind, far behind, wherever you left them. And like I said, I got to a happy place in my life, and that's what I'm working on now, just getting back to that happy place in my life where I'm a mature single woman, enjoying life, enjoying my ability to thrive, and not just survive, but to thrive and move forward in my life. If you see if a person is not on that same running pace with you, you know how you start running and they're not on that pace with you, leave them. Just leave them. You can't wait for people. You cannot hold up your life holding off your plans, your goals, your dreams, your successes because other people haven't caught up. Like, because you'll always have those little negative comments that come across, and they're nothing but hate. I don't care how you look at it, they're hate. So learn to leave those people behind, leave the past behind, move forward, forgive yourself. You made a mistake, and you're going to live and you're going to continue to learn, but don't invite everybody to the race for your life. Your life is your life, your goals, your plans, your dreams. Keep moving forward. And if you fall, like my grandma used to say, wipe yourself off and get back up. And this is the ex-church girl. Again, here on this channel, I'll be doing a lot of different topics for people, young women especially, because I was a young woman once at some time in my life, at one point in my life, and I really want to expound more on things that women can learn from me, my mistakes, my past. Again, these are things I've done in the past, not proud of, but you got to accept responsibility for it, because I own my ish. I own my ish in this situation, letting this man come back in and talk and waste my time and just, try to renew the past. You can't renew the past. It's done. It's over. Like, I have such a great future ahead of me, and that's all I'm focusing on now, my future, my goals, my dreams. And that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to come on and say this real quick. And I'll be posting this video, and I'll have more video topics coming up today. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for keeping your subscription to this channel. Thank you so much for your support.